Well, good morning, everyone. Hang on a second. I did not notice this earlier, so forgive me here while I make an adjustment. These screens. I tell you, they get so messed up so easily, so quickly, even if they're locked in. All right, there we go. All right, we're sitting on the ground somewhere between here and there. That's about all I can tell you, folks, with the amount of fog we have here. Wow. Was not expecting this out of Mather today. I don't think I've ever flown out of this. I mean, granted, I know Central Valley of California is very well known to have a little bit of fog here and there. Yeah, that's the biggest understatement in the world. But anyway, yeah, we're at Mather, although it's kind of hard to tell other than the fact we're on a ramp. Where the heck we are. We are at Mather, KMHR, prepping episode 3 of Life as a Military Brat. We'll get into the background here in a second on that, but we're taking off on episode 3 from Mather down to San Bernardino. I can already hear those of you that have astutely or acutely or well, we're really smart to pay attention, um, uh, or we're awake enough to pay attention. No, that's where we started. However, my family, and this is getting into why where this is coming from. My wife came up with an idea. Why don't you fly to all the places you were at as a kid? Being a military brat, we've been to quite a few places. Those of you with children they'll say the same at my age too. Yeah, we were at a lot of places. Now, I know some who've been to far more than me and some far less. 9 schools, little more than most. Today, it's actually kind of getting on par because, you have your daycare, kindergarten, first through fifth, then you have middle school, then you have freshman school, then you have, I don't know, are they going to make a sophomore, a junior, and a senior school? It's a rate, I kind of see them going. No, just kidding. And then you have high school. So they're catching up in the civilian world. They go, there might be something to that. Not really. As long as you stay in the same city, you're okay. But boy, what military brats have to go through or not just military, government brats, because GS moves around too sometimes. So I've run into that too. So it's a rough life for a kid but when we come around to those holidays, that's why I always say, yes, support the service people who defend the country. But at the same time, don't forget the families they leave behind to be able to do that, who are cheering them in some cases. Some out there will recollect only ones cheering them on to continue. And not going to get into the politics of that statement. So, but anyway, that's where this came from. This is the third flight. We broke episode 2 up into 3 parts really because of YouTube. YouTube does not like videos longer than 12 hours. You can stream for God knows how long. They don't have a problem with live stream. It's videos they do. And I'm not certain if that's because, well, they still take the same storage space. I don't know. But we ran into that on our first flight. So the second flight, we broke it up into 3 pieces. So this flight, no, we're not needing to break it up. It's a long flight. Basically, where Mather Air Force Base is, it is still, by the way, in use, but not as an Air Force Base, is in Sacramento, along with McClellan Air Force Base. That is actually still in play. Um, so they're there, they're just not in military use. Well, McClellan has a Coast Guard detachment, and maybe a couple of others, but Mather is strictly air freight, and forestry. Hey, the fog's lifting a little. I can actually see the building in the distance now. But anyway, on the other side of those buildings is where you may have heard of those, especially in the Sacramento area, Emory Worldwide. If you live in Dayton, you knew of them. They were gone in 2006. It was because of a crash here. Found out maintenance wasn't kept up to date, all of that, everything that just spells closure. So, and not closure on an event, closure of the airline. So, anyway, that's where we are. And this is where basically how this went. I was born down in Norton Air Force Base, which, by the way, is San Bernardino International today. Couple of airlines actually service there. Lockheed used to be in there big after Norton closed. We then traveled pretty quickly to Bitburg, Germany. The runway, the infrastructure is still there, but it's not big enough to handle heavy aircraft coming in. 15 miles to the east is a little thing called Spangdahlem, and they could handle it. And that's where we went. And then we went from there to here, Mather. And now, episode 3, we are now heading to our third assignment, or my father's third assignment that I know of, to Norton. And I, at this point, am beginning to have some memories of the places we've been directly. They're imprinted on the floppy drive in the head. So anyway, that's where we are and where we stand today. Like I said, we're basically ready to go. I'm going to give a quick overview of what we did, and we're going to get rolling. And if time permits, maybe find another flight. We'll take a look at that en route. All right, so we're up in the cockpit real quick. When I came in, basically, all of that in the background there, the hangar, the trees, oh, you couldn't see, maybe even that building. It was quarter-mile fog. It's lifting. And I think we're legal actually now. I was planning to go anyway, but anyway, so we're actually, the waiting to get started actually has helped build. So hang on a second. All right, sorry about that. Thought my daughter was going to fill me in on something, and I guess not. So, oh well, no, we'll just continue on. So basically, you come in. It's a pretty good aircraft. You got a good radio stack here, but hey, VATSIM, we've got historical aircraft out here that don't do that 8.33 stuff. So, you might want to think about that in your bylaws. I know you don't. It's your way of keeping air traffic down. Coming up here, we have a nice array. It looks pretty 707-ish. See if I can back out from here. So yeah, you're looking at a pretty good representation Shenshee. Make sure I got that. Shenshee has done here. And the overhead, Now, are we authentic? To be honest, a little too young to know about this plane. I actually never knew about the 707-100 series. We all know the 300, they're the ones that Pan Am and TWA here in the States just filled the skies with. And I'm not meaning to, you know, look over the other countries, but they were pretty hefty. And then over here is your first off or your flight engineer. Obviously, he had a bigger panel. Hey, it'll work. So, a little tired still from the weekend. Very busy weekend. More to talk about while en route to San Bernardino. Maybe. We'll see. Center may come up on us pretty quick. But yeah, I mean, the 707, this version of it is the precursor, so to speak, of the 727s. Why do I say that? Well, when the 707s came out in the late 50s, early 60s, the airlines loved them so much. They were looking for a more shorter haul version of the 707s, not the ability to necessarily cross the ponds, but more domestic use. For instance, here in the United States, there actually were flights from Sacramento to LAX in 707-120s. Western Airline flew them. And that's, not to say TWA had a few, Pan Am had a bunch. They were not meant to truly cross the oceans. Now, they can, but they were never intended for that role. Pan Am's big use was down into the Caribbean out of Miami. So you can see and they can carry, I forget the total, I think like 150 to just under. So we're talking 757 type sizes here. Although the 757 can and does go across the Atlantic, really not what it's truly meant for. It was meant to take care of the, inside the short routes. And so that's where this aircraft came from. And I think Shenshee did a phenomenal job with it. I forget which version I'm in now. It's, I think, the latest, greatest. And, I didn't notice that, folks. Hang on. Wrong way. I hate this. There we go. There we go. And, I'm going to have to just do it. Just suck it up, Mike. Do it. Do it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think we'd get anything. So I just happened to look over and it wasn't green. Let me make sure everything else is. Oh, that one. Oh, this one I can't monitor 121.5. Sorry, guys. Can't do it. It's not set up for it. So, all right. So that's the little history of the plane. Now, when I came in, here's what I did. You click the center post, brings up this option settings. Now, the first one is to me, a no-brainer, but to everyone else, you don't understand. There were no APUs at this time. So you had ground carts, air carts, sitting there getting the plane fired up and all of that good stuff. Yeah, that was no lie what you see in a lot of movies with the military. That's why when the F-18 came on the scene, all of those carts, while still there, weren't needed for every airplane, just the ones that couldn't get things going. They're still flyable. They're just not able to start without help. Where they have onboard, they don't call them APUs, they got a different name. But anyway, they can take care of themselves. Now, this aircraft was in the VOR ADF days, and towards the middle to latter part of years, the INS systems were coming out. So you have that option. However, to use the INS, you have to get the SEVA, which you pay for. So you're either stuck with the VOR ADF, which is flyable. I have done it. It's a challenge in any sim with turbojets. However, it's very doable in flight simming. Maybe gets challenged, but you can do it. Or, like me, just do the FMC or FMS. This, I'm not sure when they actually started bringing out auto throttle. Now, this auto throttle, no. The auto throttle we've used in the 727 is more applicable to this airplane, where pitch, the system keeps your speed by pitch, not by engine thrust. Auto brakes, I don't know. And then cabin, you got the rest. You can open the doors. Now, the vertical stabilizer, that's your HF. Technically, this plane would not have needed it, except maybe talking with dispatch and stuff like that. It is not a fun channel to listen to, folks. It is all static, and you're looking and trying to hear a voice in this white noise. It is not cool. I thankfully never ever, and hope to never ever have to listen in on that channel or channels. But to give you an idea, if you look on top of the tail, it's that long stick sticking out. It's the antenna. Many of them had guide wires coming down to the aircraft, so to help with whatever radio it was. All right, so there it is, the 720. Like I said, a smaller, everything's smaller about it than the 707s that we're used to seeing, the 300 series. So, all right, now we are loaded. Our gross weight shows here, and our landing reference speed, well, I'm just going to play it safe, come in at plan touchdown at 130. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm not going to give away what could happen. Now, you can get that to come up here, or clicking here. Now, once you get the carts fired up, you got to come over here. I've got this set up on my num key. That's how I'm able to move through. Turn your battery switch on. You may have to hold it and drag it up. Click your external power, click your ground air. And that'll be all you need to do. These are really sometimes a very big pain in the... And then you'll get them to work, and then they won't work. And I don't know if this has to do something with the latest, because, man, I've got so many aircraft this is a problem with. All right, let me move on to something else. Let me see anything else. And I don't really know if I have to have them actually on or not. Hey, it finally went on. All right, now for starting, you'll need to turn the air conditioner off. I think we'll find out. But anyway, once you have all of these figured out, turn your ground power on. Go to external power on both of these, and then down here they say we got to turn on all the fuel pumps. Okay, now hold on here. Something didn't load right. I'm pretty certain of it. Oh, hang on. I think I'm in the wrong one. I am. Something didn't load right. Oh, okay. It threw them there. Okay, got it. Um, I'm trying to figure out why half my tanks should have been by close to 5,000 pounds each, but it threw them here. Okay. Oh, it's not. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. All right, so we're ready to go. That's how you get it set and ready to go. Let's do a quick look at the flight. Some toolkit. Now, my goal is to take off on the 2-2s. SimBrief said 4s. The wind is absolutely calm, hence the fog. Dew points are right where the temperature is, which brings, with no wind, fog or rain or dew, but in this case, fog. All right, so as you can see, LA Center is up, and they're probably going, oh gosh, we got to take care of San Bernardino. Really? Oh my. I will say the last controller that we had into San Bernardino, I really liked. He gave me an approach clearance I know of. I know the basics to it, but I've never, ever, ever heard on VATSIM. So we'll see if it happens again. All right, so with SimBrief, or Sim Toolkit, sorry, we got 29,920 pounds of payload and just about the same amount of fuel in the wingtips, in the wings, 29,058 pounds. Uh, Today we've got 136 people visiting us, and oddly enough, our first fix is FROGO. I love that. How appropriate for today. Mach 0.80 we'll try to hold, and they want us at 41. I don't think these planes would fly that high. Typically. Could they? Probably. So I took a little less. 39 seems a little high for them. But, I know they'll go where the best is, and we'll see how things work out. So that's our start. Here's the weather. The weather here is frightful. We need Rudolph on the nose here to help shine our way out of Mather and Sacramento. Quarter mile statute miles in fog, overcast 200, temperature 2, dew point 2, wind calm. That is why we have what we have. Explained that already, so you now see it in text. Down in San Badu, we have also a calm wind, 9-degree spread between what it is outside and what the dew point is, so 9 degrees outside, and we have 6 miles in haze. Could be smog, but we'll be nice to them and say haze. So the gray haze on the scopes there. All right, so that's our brief. We're already online, and let's get our butts up in there and get going. What do you think? And it continues to get better here. That's cool. All right, let's do it. Let's get this up. Close the doors. Oh, wrong one. Doors are up here. We need our ground units. Okay. Looking outside. I don't think we have chocks. No. And obviously, no pushback. I don't want any pushback from any of y'all. All right. I'm no crappy joke. Good thing is we were in the break. So in about a minute and or so, we are going to begin the startup. So I hope y'all are ready. And if I could say thank you all for the support. Thank you for being here with Flying with Mike. And glad to have you aboard. And this flight, just for those who are subscribed and able to hear my voice, is not being flown on a virtual airline. Pan Am has completely revamped, and boy, are they, man, you're going to love them, folks. TWA is, if not done, very close to it. The CEO just let me know the 1961 Pan Am schedule is pretty thick and, filling and robust. So that's what we're going to look at if once we get things ready to go here to see if we can do another flight today. All right. And I hope y'all are ready for Christmas. That's not far away. I think you're down to just about 2 weeks. So hopefully your things are not as stressed as they can be for this holiday. And always again keep in mind the true reason. When stress comes down, just keep that in mind that what is the reason for all of this hubbub? And it's about this little baby that was born in a little town outside of Jerusalem called Bethlehem, and his name is one of many names given to him, but Jesus, the Christ, the Messiah, Emmanuel, and keep that in mind. That is what the season is for. There are people out there who give you arguments about how it's such this, such that. And, if you just keep focused on the real reason for this season, which is Jesus Christ coming and being our Savior, boy, it helps, at least helps me through some very stressful times. And hope it helps you. So. All right, so we're getting close here. They'll be rejoining us in a minute, so we're going to start the process, and we're going to do the does, as I call them. Let's go up here and turn the beacon on. Seatbelts, we're armed already. We'll keep this in the off. This is your flight director. We'll keep obviously anti-ice off. However, we have the window heat on and we have the cockpit lighting set. All right. And double check everything over here set. We'll go ahead, turn galley power off and leave everything else the way it is. You saw how hard it is. Now, none of the start, stop, compressors and all of that to help us get going work. Okay, just need to turn the air conditioning unit off to make sure we have all the pressure it may or may not give us. Um, all right, so let's get this thing going, shall we? Now, it is a bit of a challenge to do this plane because basically you need to be able to reach these. These are your fuel switch, your fuel levers to take it from cutoff to, well, let's see what they're set for. This is something I don't like. From cutoff to start. Okay. And all you got to do, though, the neat thing is click them. It's just a little cumbersome. So let's start up engine 3. And we want to do a ground start. So make sure the switch comes. Maybe I'll get what I'm trying. I tell you, I really. There we go. Okay, it may help to just turn them all on, the fuel levers, even though that's not realistic. I'm going to try it from this angle. I'm just making sure it didn't fire up. Okay, number 3 did not. Oh, forgetting one step. I do this all the time, folks. You got to open up the ground start selector. I don't think we can put her in high pressure, but as long as you're that way, you should be good. Now we should see some action. There it goes. You can see the second gauge from the bottom there coming up. At 20, it will kick in. And there, ooh. You can see all the numbers coming up. It's really can be a pain in the, but there we go. Yeah, if you don't turn that ground start on, you can do everything in the world and it still won't do a thing. So I came close to abandoning this plane after updating it, and that's why. Oh, I hate this. I don't know what has caused this. Why it takes my mouse so hard. I don't know if maybe I got to change the battery. I don't know. Doesn't seem right to me. There it goes. And one's going up. Temperature's rising. Fuel flow's up. Get everything to settle down here. Temperatures are up, back up to the top we go. Of course, we could all hope for what Felis does and have them talking, but I don't know what that takes. Oh, again, we're just waiting on it. And yes, this is X-Plane 12, the latest and greatest beta that's out there that I'm aware of in play here. So and the final engine, that just about took an hour in itself. All right, and trying to be respectful of your time, that's why the airplane's pretty well ready to go. There really isn't much to it, folks. It's a pretty simple plane. While we're waiting, let's go ahead, turn all of our hydraulics on. Um, all right. Oh, look at, oh my goodness, it's like clear skies now here compared to when we started. Wow. Curious if there's a special out there. Yeah, it's now green. Clear skies, 5 degrees, 5 degrees. However, not sure why the fog lifted. It should have stayed. But anyway, we'll take it. We're out of here. All right. Let's get up here. Got our engines going, pitot heat going. Um, we'll leave the flight director as is. We'll go ahead, turn these on being 5 degrees, and that is the nacelles. Come over here. And sorry, folks, bouncing around. Get our generators closed. Okay. And put our system over, engine 3 will work. Okay, we can now turn the ground power off, go back on that, bring the air conditioner back online. Again, we do not mess with any of these unless you want to play with the mice. And like I said, I don't know why mine is acting like it is. Maybe the cat got installed too many times. I don't know. But let's bring in. There we go. Trying to get. All right. We've got Mather lined up on the radios. Remember, we're in common traffic territory now. So, dot CTAF, Charlie Tango Alpha Fox, and then whatever the 4-character code is for the airport. So, all right, so we're ready to go. We're on manual. This is a real touchy. You'll see if I read, we saw that on the way out of JFK. Hopefully we've got a better grip on it. All right, let's one last look at everything. Okay, ground equipment off. We'll go ahead and dim them down a little for our passengers to enjoy. And doors are closed. We'll do one walk around before we signal we're ready to go. And everything is closed up. I thought we had tax. I guess not. I thought we had a taxi light on here. Okay. Here we go. And Mather traffic clipper 572 taxi to 22 left for departure. Currently, UPS comes in here. I want to say DHL to help alleviate some of the stuff at the international. But I know UPS does, but FedEx, I know they go to Oakland. So if anything, 208 or 407 will come in here. So, or ATR. So, all right, we're on our way, folks. Let's get our flaps set. Not certain why the sim is so quiet. Oh, that would explain it. I think it's also a pretty quiet aircraft in the sim wise. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, look at that fog just busting up. It said, oh yeah, flying with Mike wants to fly, so we better clear up. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, that's what happened. Look at that. But there you go, folks. 707-120. From the tower. Other than the cargo operations and fire service, I really don't know what all happens here. I do know up until the mid 60s, early to mid 60s, airport called now Sacramento Executive was the actual main airport. And we'll take it. And before we hit that runway, by the way, this was a SAC base. Now, granted, Mac was in here as well with cargo. Travis, not far away, saw most of what they did, but there was a Christmas tree, as we call it in the military, out where you see that outlying building in the upper left-hand corner or so. That was where they lined them up at. And of course came down. Oh, we can cross. Okay. Pretty sure nobody's coming in. I always get this fear that it's going out my speakers, the sound. But this plane is kind of quiet, so. All right, so we're across, heading, and this would have been the main runway they would have used, the bigger of them, tankers and bombers. All right, let's look over here for flaps. Looks good setting. I'll double check in a minute. Oh, let's bring them up. 20 should be plenty. I should have continued my taxi. Looks like we do a little bit of a back taxi. We're going to use the whole 10,000 feet just for the safety sake. And Mather Air Force Base traffic. Clipper 572 back taxiing 22 left for departure. Hey, let there be some sun. Yeah, now the taxiway ahead of the plane going off on an angle to the right was to the Christmas tree where the SAC aircraft would be. Real quick, I'm going to check my sounds. That could help. Okay, let's get all the lights on. Ah, okay. Here we go. Flight director on heading. Now we should see bars. Okay, we'll just stay on heading. Okay, now we're going to get down here and get that autopilot going. I don't like this, it seems to be fluctuating. Let's get the last of the flaps up. Dang it, this is what it would do before. Okay, now let's see if we can't get direct to FROGO. All right, a little shaky getting out of here still with this plane, but overall not too bad. Let's see how we do as we head towards FROGO. Flaps indeed are up. Let's double check. Lights, hopefully we did not turn off yet, but we've got them. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and kill the wing lights. All right, we're on our way, folks. We got a turn coming up here in about 10 or 15 miles, maybe 20, and then we'll be headed towards San Bernardino, hopefully. Hopefully that's where we end up. That's the game, at least, the play, at least, today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're attempting to turn the aircraft towards San Bernardino at this time, and maybe, just maybe today, we'll actually land at our destination. Here we go again. Man, this thing is so sensitive. Oh boy. Hang on a second here, folks. I just realized we are way off course. Like I said, this can be a brutal aircraft sometimes. Trying to figure out what the heck is going on. All right, so we are on our way, having still troubles with this plane, so this ought to be fun bringing it in. But welcome in, folks. Thank you so much for being a part. If you're new, hit that follow button. Love to have you follow us on our next flights. Also, if you're on YouTube, smash that subscribe and like button so you'll know when new videos like this one is released. And if any time over there at YouTube you'd like to join us live, we'd love to have you over here also on Twitch. Come over to the Twitch channel and look down in the About, and you'll see where our flight schedule is. Should be right front and center on you. If not, go to our Discord channel, and we have the flight schedule there. All right, so I think we've gotten this plane pretty well calmed down. I mean, as best we're going to get it. And we've got soon to be called in to LA Center. So we'll see what kind of an approach we get in here today. Last time we got the ILS to runway 6. However, the clearance I mentioned in the opening remarks was something I've never heard a controller give on VATSIM. A circle to land. I only know this from what I've seen. I've never physically actually flown one. Well, I'm a private pilot, so hopefully never will in the real world. Well, no, they're kind of fun. I just don't know the nuances. You know, the angle, the times, all of that to make your turns. But I think we did a pretty good job in the MD-11. So yeah, it was a kind of a fun run. Who knows what they'll do today? Right now, it is favoring runway 6 per real ATC. Now, wait a minute. Does San Bernardino actually have real ATC? I don't think they're D8s, now that I think about them. How did I get that was right? Hang on. That's interesting. Arrival. Pilot's Edge. I didn't think they were. Okay. Now I think I'm going, wait a minute. The San Bernardino does not have D8s. So who knows what they'll clear us in for. We'll do our best for a circle to land if that's what they so choose. And otherwise we'll plan straight in. Run. Oh, wait, that was Mather I was looking at. Sorry, folks. San Bernardino does have D8. What? Yeah, they do have D8s. Huh. Not sure why they're not showing real here. Okay. But it still was Pilot's Edge, so makes perfect sense now to me. Because more than likely, the 2.4s and 2.5s are active no matter which way the winds are going on VATSIM for LAX, which dictates the whole region, it seems like. So, you gotta kind of understand, it kind of makes sense. So we'll see what we get today, folks. It's a neat little airport if you ever get a chance. Breeze, was it Spirit that I saw goes in there? But definitely Breeze goes into San Bernardino. All right, let's take a look, and we are needing... I'm going to set for 270 and see what that does on our airspeed. Getting it down maybe a little lower. I'm going to go for 260. I think that'll be pretty close to 0.8. And by the way, these aircraft are of the day and age where they had mock gauges not integrated into the airspeed gauge yet. So you had to look down here to see where you were. Did we blow through 39? Let's see if it stops on the next one. If not, I knows a little about this plane that I know how to make it stop. Okay. It did blow through. Okay. Now, where are we? I don't think this is looking good. Start our descent. God help us. Okay, Ziggy wants us. Where's the altitudes? Did it again. Oh, I hate this thing. Do it too wrong and it... Oh my gosh. Did I get 2,000? Nope. Come on. Yeah. I'm gonna have to fly the airplane first. Oh my gosh, this plane will not react the way it is supposed to, and I may have to come offline. I think I am. Sorry, coming offline. This thing is... I finally got a controlled descent in place. I'm not even gonna try to pull him in. All right, we're gonna just have to do my hand flying skills. One, 5, 4, okay. Dadgummit. Gosh dang it. This airplane is like getting to be very uncontrollable. I have no idea why the heading is showing like that on the flight director. No idea. Why are we still... I think I know why. It's not under the autopilot. Yet it's showing on. Yeah, this may be my lab. I'm getting real tired of the way this... this thing is just unbelievably uncontrollable. Damn it. Because I gotta have at least 10 to 12,000 feet to cross the mountains. If it would trim up, this would be a much easier airplane to fly. I don't know what to tell Shenshee, but I don't think I'll be flying this much anymore. Yeah, I'm having to basically hand fly this from the charts. That flight director really stinks. Just turning it off. Okay, folks, sorry I've been really quiet here. This plane is really requiring a whole lot of my attention, and that's ridiculous. Can't put it on autopilot for some reason today. So we're going to attempt to hand fly this, and that's why we're off with LA. There is just absolutely no way I could fly this per the chart as they would want. Okay, now we have a retrim coming. Hang on, where are we? How the hell did we drop almost 2,000 feet from trimmed? Oh. Believe it or not, we have 0 altitudes through this pass that we got to fly, which is kind of interesting. Even on the other end, they don't tell us what to be at. So, it's pretty much ATC's call through here. I mean, the DC-3 flies better than this. I know we've gained 1,000 feet, and all right, we're coming over Magic, and we'll be coming over the San Gabriel's into the valley here in a minute. Okay, now we're about to go to 152. I'm almost half tempted to take over the speeds. Okay. I think we're safe to begin our descent. Get back on course here. All right, we're gonna give this our best. I am turning all the lights on. Come on, you buggers.
Sync rate.
I think that fog followed us. And I don't have a glide slope. That's weird. Well, it doesn't help that it's all obscured right now. Got a runway. Holy mackerel. Flaps full. Holy mackerel. This plane has been nothing but just a fight the whole way here. Brings me back to the days I started with X-Plane and how hard they were to trim. All right, cleared to land, runway 6, landing. Little high right now, but we're getting into the groove. Airport's 1,000 feet. Okay, so we got, yeah, we're okay, definitely landing. We're about 1,000 feet above the ground. Still no glides? Oh yeah, now we have it. Getting a little low. All right, that was probably one of the most scariest flights I've flown. Glad that wasn't real. I mean, most of my flights I'm glad aren't real. They aren't the greatest, but that one kinda a little on the scary side. Complete had to hand fly because I don't know what's messing up, if it's a beta messing with the Shenshee itself needing some work. I do not know, said Sam I Am. But glad, no offense to you all in Los Angeles, came offline. Whoa. That's one thing I don't like, that if I had to say an X-plane is just wrong, is the braking. It's like all or nothing, and it's really tough. And I know if Hawker was on get toe brakes, get foot pedals, well, you know, can't all be like that, and shouldn't have to be. But you're more than welcome to buy a set for me, and I'll give them a try. All right, if you all don't mind, I am going to take a chance, and just turn what I need to turn off. Okay, I can never remember where the strobes are. Oh, because there is none. And yeah, we didn't turn the auto. We weren't leaving the cockpit after all that garbage. That was a rough flight, folks. The fact that we're here, the fact that I'm ready to taxi is pretty doggone amazing. But there she is. You get a better look at it. The 707-120. Now, at the conclusion here, we're going to, I think, fly another flight, but we're going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. I need to talk to my wife about something. We'll, since we still got a lot of time here, we may look into doing another flight. What we'll fly yet, I don't know, but let's get to the ramp down here, take care of business with this flight, and then we'll look to another. So again, that was pretty much, once I finally said, you know what, this autopilot sucks. It's an airplane that it was very difficult to switch over to VOR. Very, very difficult. Because it wouldn't hold the altitude like it was supposed to, and probably because the autopilot wasn't fully engaged. So I don't, that part just was blowing me away, that it wasn't at all gonna hold an altitude. Did in the beginning, but at the end it was basically saying, nope, not you. Nope, you're gonna just have to do it the old-fashioned way. And the old-fashioned way was not working. The trimming out here did not work. So that's what ended up. And actually, hey, looks like we may have had a pretty good landing. So I hope y'all enjoyed. It was a great stream. We're gonna keep it going once we get up here, a 5 to 10 minute break. So, and again, please, folks, please do not take my away from the microphones here, that I was trying to diss anyone or only certain people responding to, because it just took everything in me to keep this thing going. And I'm glad, even though I don't like doing it, I came off of VATSIM as LA tried reaching out. I'm very glad for that. It was no disrespect to you all. It wasn't because of problems in the past. It was just, I didn't need to deal with switching frequencies, trying to hand fly this plane, and all of that other garbage that was going on. Let's see. Boy, we got a terminal over there too. Huh. Ooh, we got a fence. Super secret. Don't look over there, folks. You might get in trouble. Oh, we looked. All right. Well, we're going to come into a jetway. Even though most likely this plane would have never seen, well, it might have in the latter years. We're going to bring it in. All right, we'll do a quick recap. And like I said, take about a 10-minute break here on Twitch and be back and try and fly another flight. Can't be too long. I've got a meeting at 6 o'clock to be at. So, oh, and we don't even have a working jetway. Doggone it. All of that for that. Oh, well. Let me just see. Is it going to come to the plane? I doubt it. Nope. Okay. All right. Parking brake is actually set. Passengers. Hang on. Where's my seatbelts? Turnoffs. A lot of turnoffs on this plane today. I don't think that's what it means. Oh, we didn't have the flight recorder. That's what it was, folks. We didn't. Oh, Pan Am didn't hear us. Oh, come on. Oh, I hate sometimes the way this... Oh, sometimes, I tell you, it does aggravate me to a big point sometimes. Um, but so do all the Sims, and that's how I take it. They all have their, I mean, I've heard some of the downsides coming out of you guys with the new one, and whoa, a lot of money for all of that garbage. All right, so we could go ahead and kill avionics because we are not flying on it right now. All right, let's go to that, go to that. We're on ground, we're on air. It doesn't affect it no matter what. I just noticed that. All right, we'll get rid of it. Let's shut them down. I'm going to leave avionics on. Yeah, that was rough. Okay, so hang on a second. All right. Yeah, go figure. My stream elements kicked it the same. Really, folks, those of you that popped in, popped out going, well, where is he? I was totally immersed in trying to keep this plane from hitting mountains and not going straight up in the air and straight down. It was a battle of epic proportions, it seemed like. And hey, we won. We made it. Not the way I'd like to have. All right, get the doors open. All right, and again, I wish I wouldn't have came in here because the jetway doesn't work. I wish I'd have taken the one to our left, but it is what it is. We'll deal with it as best we can. All right, let's recap here. First off, why is this not auto-completing? All right, I'm taking a look at what the Elevatex stuff says, see how horrible that landing was after a horrible flight. Oh man, that really stunk. It really recorded me there? What? 115 feet a minute? Wow. It did feel good, I will say that, but wow, I was actually expecting a little more. But anyway, wow, hour and 7 minute flight. Now, I know you all couldn't see that. Hang on a second. Put that up there, do this. Some reason this thing is not. I may have to send a little workity work to them. And of course they'll probably say, well, you should have read this, and that in Elevatech. It always seems to come back that way to me. Not like I actually found something wrong with it. So anyway, just bringing it up, and there it is. Okay. But again, LA Center, if you happen to have popped in, my apologies. I don't want to fly an airplane. I'm having an extreme amount of problems controlling in your airspace that's already overloaded and giving you fits. So that's why we came offline. All right, let's do the official here. And the official is Sim Toolkit. Oh my. Oh, why couldn't I have been flying for a VA? Did you catch that number real quick, folks? If not, you're about to. May 3rd to San Bernardino. Yeah, you're reading that right. I really did feel a good landing, but nothing to the numbers I'm feeling. Because every time I get that feeling, 337, 452. And I'm like, what? This one? Wow. All right, so an hour and 29 minutes officially, 330 miles, 5,500, call it 5,600 kilograms, 1.23 Gs at 31 feet a minute. Now that could have been a bounce, 125 on the speed. All right, finishing this out, what the others don't do. Now, here's where it really, to me, hits. Okay, I did a good touchdown, but where was that touchdown? That's what's important when trying to figure it out. Next to trying to keep the airplane in the air. But here's the threshold. As you work your way down, the green dot is where we were. Now, we were close to 20 feet off the center line. That's not a good place to be, especially in a heavy. This is kind of sort of considered a heavy, but maybe the 120s weren't, but the 300s might have been. It's all by weight and not the weight of the day you're flying, but the general weights of the aircraft. We're on a 10,000 foot runway, you can see at the top, that was 200 feet wide. Most Air Force bases of that day were wide runways, especially if they had 10,000 feet in case B-52s needed a place to go. I don't remember any buffs there. I don't even think there's a... Here, let me see if the Christmas... No, there's no even sign of a Christmas tree that I'd have to pull up an airport. Imagine this taxiway going up with parking spots spiking off like a tree. And then at the end, a big spot where the angel or star goes. Christmas tree. Actually never pulled duty at a base like that, but yeah, pretty intense when you had it back in my day. With SAC and Cold War and all of that fun. But anyway, that was then. This is today. Really good numbers attributed to the plane. Not certain how much more fly time I will be doing with this, because there are some things that aren't helping matters. For instance, when you touch this a couple of times, it just uncontrollably goes. Kinda nervous. I've got a 747-200 flight later this week. Very nervous with this. We'll see how that works out. Now, Fearless, before you get a little cringy, let me see what happens. But yeah, it's another aircraft. I can't think which route it was. It would have been no, the 727 shouldn't have done it. They're a whole different sim. So, but anyway, good flight. We had fun. Get another look outside for you guys over at YouTube. And we're going to step out of here. And Twitch will be right back to start up the next one. We're not even going to shut the stream down. Hang tight. Give me about 10 minutes. And we'll be up and going on the next one. So for now, YouTube, God bless you. Enjoy the video. We'll be back with another one hopefully here shortly. See you in a moment.